Hello everybody, my name is Nick. I am a master's student in the gerokinesiology program at Cal State Fullerton. I'm going to be running through a resistance exercise for y'all today. I'm just going to show you one set of each of the different exercises. You can choose to watch the video again and do 2 sets, or pause in between each set and do a second set for each of them, or you can just do one of each. That works as well. But I highly recommend that if you haven't yet, watch one of the warm-up videos that we have up there first. Want to get the blood flowing to avoid any sort of injuries that can happen from working out cold muscles. So get that blood flowing a little bit with one of our light warm-ups first, and then come back and watch this video if you haven't done so yet. Again, I'm just going to be doing one version of one set of each of the different exercises that we have going on here. So we'll get started right away. So the different equipment that you're going to need for these exercises is going to be a nice sturdy chair, as well as some dumbbells. If you don't have dumbbells, you can use soup cans, water bottles, or if you aren't ready for dumbbells yet, if you aren't ready for that extra resistance, you can do any of these exercises without added resistance as well, with no equipment. But the chair is going to be necessary. So I would recommend that if you don't have a chair ready to go at this moment, go ahead and pause the video, go grab one and set it up. A nice sturdy chair like this, not one with wheels. And I'm going to angle the camera here just so you can see the chair a little bit better and see my whole body as we run through these exercises. The first one that I'm going to go over, let me get these dumbbells out of the way. First exercise that we're going to go over is called a chair stand. Fairly simple. It's exactly how it sounds. You're going to be getting up from the chair and then sitting back down. We're going to do 10 repetitions. So standing up, sitting all the way back down 10 times. Now, there are a couple of cues that I want you to think about as we are doing this exercise. First of all, we want to make sure that our feet are more or less about shoulder width apart as we're starting sitting down. So I'm going to angle the chair here just so you can see what it looks like from the front first. You're going to want to be sitting up nice and tall, feet nice and firmly planted, about shoulder width, hip width apart. You want to get those toes more or less pointing straight forward in front of you. Now from the side angle, this is what you should look like. Sitting down in that chair. You want to have nice 90-degree angles at your hips as well as your knees. You want to be sitting up nice and tall through your spine. So think about trying to keep your ears in line with your shoulders, in line with your hips, like there's a steel rod running up your back, keeping you nice and straight, no matter how your torso is in relation to your hips. So even if you're leaning forward like this, you want to keep that nice neutral posture, that nice neutral line through your ears and your shoulders and your hips. So again, feet firmly planted, about shoulder width apart, nice 90-degree angles. There's a couple different versions, and I'll go over each of them that you could use here. But basically, we're just going to be standing up and sitting back down, nice and controlled, in both directions. Now, you can either have your hands across your chest like this. That's going to make it a little bit harder. Or you can have them down here to give yourself a little bit of a boost, a little bit of extra help to get yourself all the way up. But best, if you can, try to use the X pattern across your chest first. What we're going to do is we're going to lean forward, using the momentum of leaning forward to help us stand up. So leaning forward, nice continuous motion all the way up. As you stand up, you really want to feel those glutes squeeze, those muscles in your bottom, feel them contract and help push you all the way up so you're standing nice and tall. And then once you're in this position, we're just going to sit right back down. As we sit down though, we are going to stick that bottom really far back. So we're going to firmly plant it in the chair so that we keep our knees right over our ankles. And then we're going to relax all the way back, nice and controlled all the way back into the chair. Don't just plop yourself back in. Don't fall into the chair. You want to be nice and controlled all the way through. So whenever you're ready, we're going to do 10 of those. And I'm going to keep giving you a couple of those cues as we run through the exercises. So, arms across the chest here, or down by your side to give you a little bit of assistance. And we're going to stand up, leaning forward all the way. 1. As you sit back down, hips go back, keeping those knees over the ankles, relaxing, controlled all the way back into the chair. Again, 2. 3. Nice and controlled all the way through the full range of motion. 4. Hips go back, keeping those knees over your ankles. 5. 6. 7. 8. 9. And 10. Remember, all the way controlled, even through that last repetition. Great work, everybody. So like I said before, feel free to pause. You can rewind it and follow along for a second set. I'm just going to go straight into our next exercise. There's going to be a couple different versions for this one as well. It's called a calf raise. So you can do this one from a seated or a standing position. You can use those dumbbells to give you help give you a little extra resistance if you're comfortable with it. Otherwise, just do it with no equipment besides the chair. You're going to want to rest those hands right on those knees, keeping those nice 90-degree angles between your hips and your knees as well. And you're just going to lift up those heels off the ground, keeping those toes on the ground. And I'm actually going to angle the camera just so you can see my feet a little bit better. So we're going to lift those heels up off the ground, keeping those toes on the ground, nice and controlled. Again, like we were doing with the chair stand, don't want to just let the ankles fall to the ground. You want to be nice and controlled as you relax those heels back into the ground. Now, second version is from a standing position. You can do this exercise. You're going to want to have that chair beside you or out in front of you, whichever is more comfortable, just to give you a little bit of extra support in case you need to hold on to it. And it's the same thing as if you were sitting down. You're just going to come up onto those heels and relax back down. I'm sorry, come up onto your toes and relax the heels back down. So whichever version you're more comfortable with, go ahead and do that one. I'm going to do it from the seated position. But if you feel comfortable doing it from a standing position, by all means, go ahead and do it. And we'll do 10 repetitions. 1, and relax those heels back down. 2, nice and controlled to the full range of motion. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. Remember to control all the way back down, even through that last repetition. Great work, everybody. As with the chair stand, you can go ahead and pause and rewind if you want to do another set, or we can move on into the next exercise. I'm going to angle the chair here a little bit just so you can see the exercise really well. The next one, we're moving on to the upper body here. We're going to be doing bicep curls. So it's a fairly standard exercise, but there are a couple things that you really want to think about. So having those dumbbells in your hands, or again, you can do it freehand with no equipment, whichever you choose to do and are more comfortable with. You're still going to be working the same muscles. You're going to start with those hands nice and relaxed down by your sides. You want to have those palms facing inwards towards each other. And you're going to bring the hands up towards the shoulder, isolating the motion just through your elbow. So you want to keep those upper arms nice and flush to the side of your body. So as you bring the hand up towards the shoulder, you're going to rotate your palm so that it faces behind you. So this is what it's going to look like. Rotating that palm. The palm's going to face behind you, and then relax, nice and controlled, all the way back down. Bringing the palm, rotating it so it faces behind you, and then rotating back so they face inwards towards each other. So we're going to do 10 repetitions of that. Whenever you're ready, I'll count you off. Starting up here, we'll do 1, controlled all the way back down. Remember, we still want to sit nice and tall. 2, keeping that nice straight line between our ears, our shoulders, and our hips. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. Remember to control it all the way back down, even through that last set. Great work, everybody. Great work. Go ahead and rewind if you want to do a second set, or you can wait till the end of the video and just replay the whole video, whichever you're more comfortable with. But I'm going to be moving on to our next exercise here. So I'm going to face directly towards you. I'm going to change the angle of the camera one more time here, just so you can see my whole upper body through the whole exercise. Next, we're going to be doing some shoulder exercises. So there's a couple different versions that you can do depending on your mobility. We're either going to be pressing up and over the head, or we're going to be bringing those hands out to kind of like a T-pose. You can do it with or without resistance, or with or without equipment. Either way, the way your body will be creating resistance, but you can add some by holding those dumbbells in your hands. So first version, you're going to start with those dumbbells or your hands right at about shoulder height. So you're going to be kind of making like a W motion with your arms. Keeping those elbows nice and low to start with. You're just going to press those hands straight upwards and then slowly and controlled all the way back down. Pressing those hands straight on up, slow and controlled all the way back down. That's the first version. Now, if it's tough to get those hands all the way up over your head, which it is for some of us, and that's okay. There's a second version here that is going to be a little bit easier and still going to be working on the same muscles. So it's going to easier in the sense that you're going to be able to go through the full range of motion, but you're still going to be working those same muscles and getting all the benefit from this exercise. So instead of starting with the hands at shoulder height, you're going to start with them nice and relaxed. In the same position as you started for those dumbbell curls. So you're going to have those palms facing inwards, but still sitting up nice and tall, nice neutral spine position, ears in line with the shoulders, in line with the hips. And you're just going to bring those hands straight out wide, draw the back of the hand towards the ceiling, and stop when your hands are at about shoulder height, and then slow and controlled all the way back down to that starting position. Again, starting in that same position as you did when you were doing your bicep curls, so palms facing inward, draw the back of the hand up towards the ceiling, keeping nice straight arms, stopping when you're at shoulder height, and slowly controlled all the way back down to your starting position. So a couple different versions there. I'm going to be demonstrating the first version, but by all means, if the second version is more comfortable for you, please do that one. You're going to be getting all the same benefit, working the same muscles, just in a slightly different way. So whenever you're ready, we'll do 10 of those shoulder raises. Pressing straight upwards, bringing those hands up over the head, slowly controlled back, bringing those hands back to shoulder height. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. All right, great work, everybody. Remember, nice and controlled, even through that last set. That's it for today. We'll be posting up some more resistance exercises, but that's a pretty decent one that hits both the lower body and the upper body, gets pretty much the whole body working out well. Please come back for more. As I said, we're going to be posting up more videos in the future, so stay tuned. Take care, everybody.